Somebody had asked me to show them how to make the crochet chevron blanket my grandma was making, so here's that tutorial. It starts by chaining a multiple of 15 minus 1. Every 15 stitches is basically going to be a chevron peak, so in this example I'm making 3 peaks. That's 15 times 3 minus 1 is 44 chains to start. The blanket my grandmother was making had 16 peaks on it, so 16 times 15 minus 1 is 239 chains to start, which with worsted weight yarn and an H hook made a blanket that was about 56 inches wide. So here are my 44 chains for this example. Starting in the second chain from the hook, you're going to half double crochet 6 times. That's 1 half double crochet in each of the next 6 chains. So this one is 4. This is 5 and 6. Now into the next chain, you're going to half double crochet 3 times, all in that one chain. This is going to create the peak to your chevron. Next, you're going to half double crochet in each of the next 6 chains. So 3, 4, 5, and 6. Then you're going to skip 2 chains and half double crochet in the next 6 chains. By skipping the 2 chains, you're creating the valley of your chevron. This is basically what makes your stitch count balance out, because you have 2 additional half double crochets on top and you're skipping 2 in the bottom. Next, you're going to put 3 half double crochets into the next chain. We're back up at the peak again, and by this point, I hope you notice the pattern that is trending. You're going to continue this pattern by half double crocheting 6 times, skipping 2 chains, half double crocheting 6 times, and putting 3 half double crochets into 1 stitch, and do this until you get to the end of your chains. You'll be ending with 6 half double crochets. Now the thing with working chevron stitches is that you have to decrease 1 stitch at the start and end of each subsequent row that you're working on. So you don't have to do it for the first row, but each subsequent row you have to. So to start our next row, we're going to chain 1 and turn. And then the way my grandmother does it, she actually doesn't work in the top loops like you traditionally would with half double crochet, like through here. She actually works through the bottom and front loop here. So all your stitches are going to be worked in the bottom and front loop, not the top 2 loops. So to decrease for the start of this row, we're actually just going to simply skip the first stitch, and going into the second stitch, we're going to half double crochet 6 times, 1 in each of the next 6 stitches. And this is all going to be familiar to you because it's the same exact pattern as the previous row. See, there's those decorative stitches. Ooh. Okay, so going into the next stitch, half double crochet 3 times. Remember to keep working in the front loop and bottom loop, not the back loop. And then you're going to half double crochet 6 times, 1 in each of the next 6 stitches. Then skip 2 stitches, and going into that third stitch, half double crochet 6 times. You've now created your valley and you're heading back up to the peak. And then in the next stitch, you're going to half double crochet 3 times. And just keep repeating the pattern just like you were before until you get to the end of the row. Now, when you do get to the end, remember we have to do another decrease, and there's 2 ways you can do this. Option 1 is to half double crochet 2 together. If you don't know how to do it, the way I do it is I yarn over, and then I just go into the next 2 stitches and draw up a loop, yarn over and pull through all those loops. The other option you can do is to simply skip the second to last stitch and half double crochet in the last spot. But I don't like the gap that creates, so I prefer to half double crochet 2 together. And again, that's done. You yarn over and then just draw up a loop in the next 2 stitches, yarn over and pull through all the loops. Then you chain 1 turn and simply repeat. Look at this pretty design. Now, if you want to change color, simply use your new color in your final yarn over for the row. So in this final row, this is my last yarn over, but instead of yarning over with my active color, I'm going to pick up my new color for this last yarn over and pull through. And then chain 1 turn. And then just start with my new color, just like I was before. Skip the first stitch because we have to decrease 1 and work my half double crochets. And I can tie these ends together if I like. That's what my grandmother did, so that's what I do on my blanket. I'm also paranoid. I make lots of knots. So anyways, that's how you make the chevron blanket that my grandma was making for me before she passed away. And if you have any questions, just let me know. I hope you found this tutorial helpful.